Ladies and gentlemen, presenting you with yet again a pulse-pounding, furious battle in the top 16 of Deluxe Stage 2. With us are two decks that not many may have expected to make it to the top rung of Deluxe, but both have done so through a combination of skill and wit. Up in the top corner, wearing the red gloves, we have Clover, bearing forth the very enigmatic and interesting Kyouka deck list, which has made its way through the block circuits and managed to find its way to the top cut through a lot of fascinating gimmicks. So we're going to see what this wild card has for us today. Meanwhile, in the bottom corner, it's the blazing brawler themselves, Shiono, wielding their tried and true Impauldio deck. And with me once again, it's my dear co-host, Scarlight. How are we doing, sir?
Doing pretty well, Impauldio and Kyouka, huh? Never thought I'd see these two all the way up here, honestly. Never thought I'd see these two.
If you were to make a poll on who would win, this would probably be one of the tighter polls in Deluxe right now. And I would agree. One is definitely more predicated on some fast-paced aggression. The other one has a superior grind game to it. They feel like two sides of the same coin, exact but opposite at the same time. And both of these fighters being very devilishly clever in their pursuit in card fighting. So we've got a lot of potential action to see in today's battle. So then, let's go ahead and start without further delay. Say it with me, y'all. Stand up.
Stand up.
Vanguard.
Vanguard. Falstater.
Monochromatic personality of stealth.
Oh, interesting. Not starting with the Kyouka starter, so already Clover showing off a little bit of their avant-garde approach to deck building. But it seems that Impauldio gets to go first, which is nice for Impauldio because Impauldio can definitely lag behind if it isn't able to get a nice equilibrium between its automod gauge, because the automod gauge has the ability to ramp up a lot of cards, but at the cost, you need to have cards in the drop zone. And if you take a lot of high damage, you may miss out on gauge, and you also miss on opportunities for that sweet, sweet defensive bonus. So going first is pretty beneficial here. Right, Ino Progrett. So when you think about the onset of this matchup, it's a very interesting matchup, but do you have a favored deck in this particular round, Scarlight?
Honestly, I don't really know, because the only deck in this match I do know is Impauldio. I have no idea what Kyouka even does, so I'm kind of in the dark here, so.
Oh yeah, Kyouka is not a deck that a lot of people have experience with. It's more of an unknown threat within the Western meta, but in JP, it was actually a legitimate deck threat at a couple different periods, especially during set 3 when it initially came out alongside Letitia. It was considered to be the second best deck to Letitia, and maybe third behind Kyrie as well. So it had its chops there, and when it got its new upgrade form from one of the more recent lyrical booster sets, it definitely got a really strong hike up in both consistency and overall attack potential. All right, looks like Shiono is starting to get their zones all together here. They got their trusty system code Exceed. They're setting their soul, and it seems like it's a very nice, easy turn. Discarding the Baldurade, which is just a typical card here, so there's no interesting tells from that discard.
Indeed. Now Eva does get the opportunity to attack first, so that is a very big thing, depending on how they do their attack patterns. This could tell a lot.
Discard Megalomania.
Wait, what?
Just as I expected then.
Uh-oh!
Hey, Godsman, I signed up for Kyouka, right?
No! What?
Godsman, I signed up for Kyouka, right? I didn't walk into the wrong room.
Oh, dear! So...
Wait.
Skill. Draw a card.
Wait, Celestial Starter,
Willis grade 1 discards Megalomania. Oh, this is interesting. It seems that Clover here may have taken a bit of inspiration from a feature match involving myself and our Orphis player, who sadly didn't make the top cut, but did make some big waves in their own way with that hybrid Welsher list. We might be seeing a debate here. Shiono could be seeing something a little bit unexpected. Oh, swinging simply 8 though, so that's good for Shiono. No early rush. Maybe because of how wonky this build is.
Yeah,
That'll be no guard.
Alright, no card has been declared, so let's see what the drive check's gonna see. Another Megalomania. Oh, if they have the Artisaria in the hand, then they're looking at a pretty inconsistent game state right now. This could be devastating for Impauldio. They can get this online. Oh no. So it seems like Kyouka never wanted to battle Impauldio in the first place, but rather it's going to be Artisaria. Our fallen Artisaria representative Xenon may be proud in this fight.
Indeed. Now, this is also a rerun from the anime as well, with Suzune versus Senka. So this is basically another rerun.
Yeah, and it appears that once more, Suzune may have the element of surprise here, just in a very different fashion.
Indeed. Freaking debated every
discarding Fluctuate Buster Barrage. That indicates that the hand is either quite awkward or it has a lot of valuable pieces as it is, as Fluctuate Buster Barrage is generally something you want to keep in the hand for late game high shield defense. Alright, now they go into Dras Evolia, no skill as of yet. Now let's see, they'll establish more cards, which could be a dangerous gamble if so, considering what the matchup now entails. Oh, what a scary turnaround here from Clover.
Indeed, this makes...
attacks, 10,000 on the Vanguard.
Ooh, keeping it as light as possible. That is a fair strategy against Lock.
Alright. And it looks like that goes both ways, being able to guard right away. So it's going to start off at 0 damage in the turn 2. No trigger there. But getting another order. One of the nice things about this card is that now that Fluctuate Buster Barrage is in the drop zone, they actually have a bigger search radius with the Twin Battler there.
We're going to discard that Mega Romania, and then we're going to ride into the Grade 2 Ballista, and... Alright. I can put a card from my hand if it's full to search. Let's do that then. And then... Let's find it. There it is.
Alright, now resolving skill Willis to right line, putting a card for hand of soul, which is a Luther, so they seem to be going all in on this Artisaria deck at this point. We may as well consider this not a Kyouka deck whatsoever, given the combination of cards we've seen from the ride line, the drop zone, and the hand.
So I'm gonna put activate the skill of it, and I can put in the soul, draw a card, then choose one of Vanguard to plus 5k. But with the combining it with the Grade 2 Ballista, I'm drawing another card. So I'm drawing 2 cards and gaining 5k power.
Alright.
Alright.
Not bad there. Looks like they're going to be getting some serious draw cards, although there's no cards on field to make up for it, so the overall holistic advantage isn't quite there yet.
I'm going to call Aurora, and then we're going to attack. And it's going to be like 21k with a non-hit.
That's no guard.
And that's a no guard from Shiono. Unfortunately, in the pursuit of getting system code Exceed, they're going to have to try and allow for this pretty unfortunate on hit to trigger, which allows for any order card to be added. And that's pretty strong here, because being able to get another one of those trusty set orders for Artisaria, it seems like this entire build is around maximizing the consistency of this not Kyouka deck.
They're going to be a troll and then add another Mega Romania to hand.
Oh, they're adding another Mega Mania. What's interesting about this is that they lack really strong first grade 3 turns. So ironically, but because they have to go second, this actually works in their favor, because Mega Mania can trigger right away now. So that's going to be a little annoying for Shiono here.
Indeed.
All right. Let's see. Join me, my other half. Our endless march to the summit will not be stopped. I ride. Destined, one of Exceedance. Impauldio.
Alright, and now Impauldio has hit the field. Impauldio is got a bit of a run back opportunity here. Although this was a hoodwink, this is also potential here. Shiono could definitely clear the score for Senka from the anime.
Skill activates. The top card of my deck becomes an automod gauge. I'm gonna have to leave it there.
Oh, an unfortunate heal trigger is shown in the automod, but this is good now that it stays there, because when combined with the own effect of Impauldio, that can go up to 4 automod for a clean 10k to front row.
Skill of Impauldio. I get a gauge, check the top 5 cards of my deck. Alright. I'll call Radial.
Ooh, now this is a good card right here. Not only is it a booster, but it can retire itself to retire an opponent's rear guard. That's quite nice because it plays around the control aspect. Maybe Shiona was being a little cautious just in case. Huh. Alright. It seems like they're not out of the water just yet.
I'll also call... My front row gets 10,000 power.
Dubbing the Automat Power Overdrive.
Radial also gets 5,000 power with its own skill, and it can boost.
The key Automat threshold of 4 definitely helping out for this card. Now it's at full effectiveness. But what's he gonna call for a front row? He did drive check that grade 2 earlier, and it does have a skill to be able to remove itself from play after battle. Particularly binding it, but is that worth it here?
Oh, Vinschter. It gets 5,000 power with its own skill.
Ooh, calling Vinschter. With one CV left, it may just be the move for Impauldio here.
Indeed.
Battle phase. Impauldio attacks the Vanguard.
No guard.
Alright,
drive.
and no guard
First
from
check.
Artisaria. Twin drive in effect.
No trigger. Second check.
100%.
No trigger.
Ooh, more good cards.
Front.
A front trigger can get some power, but given how strong this column is going to be and with drive pressure, something tells me that defensive just is not going to matter.
Boost with Radial. Attack with Vinschter. Skill activates. Vinschter performs a drive check this turn.
Another no guard.
Drive check.
Take it.
Critical trigger.
Exactly what I'm looking
Oh, and a critical trigger,
And
putting in for
there's the
3
crits.
damage. Oh, nice. And unfortunately, Clover having to lose a critical in turn in the damage zone.
Alright.
At the end of the turn.
To beat that.
At the end of the battle.
Heal.
Ooh.
Oh, but Clover
the
finally
heal
back, hitting a
effective.
heal at the opportune time. Sheesh. Once again, proving themselves the wild card.
At the end of the battle, I bind Vinschter.
Alright.
So here, I'll pass the turn.
All right, leaving Araneae on the field at the time being. That is a lock target, but unfortunately for Clover, it's not a front row lock target, so it's not going to do much to stop Impauldio's offense. It's more just a placeholder.
Now,
Indeed.
to give my thoughts here, I knew you were going to use Impauldio, and I thought it'd be nice to use Artisaria. But another reason I'm using Artisaria, and it's the only other deck that uses the lock mechanic, and it references my main deck. So SAS System Startup, Ride, Polyphonic, Overdrive, Artisaria.
That's expected.
Sadly, you've done some stuff, so I gotta figure some stuff. I'm gonna then activate the skill to put Mega Mania thing here, and of course, since I used it from hand, I draw a card. Nice.
Being
Okay.
able to face that is pretty good.
Ooh, and with Mega Mania's effect, locking the only card available.
Yep. Look. Sadly, I'm not locking my own units. Yeah. So. Now. Call. Lumino skill. Let's get some Shadow Army. And then, call Aura. And then,
Ooh, pesky Aura coming back in there to try and keep fueling this mechanic.
call Torturing. And then, Kyouka. Oh, I should have done that, but whatever.
Ooh, alright. Calling down a full board offense. So with all the soul accumulated from Willis to Ride Line, Clover's going to definitely be able to Soul Blast for both of those cards. At least a couple turns in quick succession here. Really well done.
Indeed.
Now. 21 to your SK Vanguard.
Oh, guard.
Alright, Impauldio is saying no way, Jose, to that one.
Well, okay. Forgot to activate this skill. This is only the second time using the skill. Do Soul Blast and then return that card into my hand. And then. I'll just start your attack. Skill activates, do Counter Blast 1. And where's the phone button? There's my phone button. Let's call a Shadow Army token.
This one, perfect guard.
Alright, and PG from Shiono there, they're saying nope.
Alright. Drive check. Heal trigger.
Oh, another heal.
Clover,
That is
Clover high rolling the heals on this one. That's got to be bad for Shiono. Too bad they didn't take the first attack to deny heals.
Yep.
Now,
Gotta shake this one off.
I call upon you in my deck. Give me another trigger. Okay, that's fine.
Ooh, Clover greedily asking for another trigger there, but the deck did not respond.
Alright. Sadly, I didn't activate the skill of my Aurora, but she still stays on the field, so that the pesky little this hit still exists. Now, 25k to your Vanguard.
That's no guard. My damage check. No trigger.
Oops, System Code Exceed can activate this time though, giving a little added defensive bonus and also getting yet another Automod gauge, ramping those suckers up.
Yeah. Getting closer and closer to the limit.
25k, not 25. Yeah, 30, 25. Okay, that's 25k to your Vanguard.
Once again, no guard.
Alright, System Code Exceed's going to be able to proc once more.
Critical trigger.
Ooh, unfortunately wasting this scenario, but it can get the Automod if nothing else.
That will pass the turn.
Probably the bigger thing about that, though, is that that's another counterblast for Impauldio, which is a very CB-hungry deck by nature, requiring one CB every turn just to do its main gimmick, but then needing another CB to use the Divine skill, which is a very crucial card.
Yep.
Show it to me, my Vanguard. Persona Ride.
Alright, Impauldio using the Persona Ride shown earlier from the Twin Drive. Let's see if they can get the card they covet and go for a nice beatdown to make up for lost time from those heal triggers.
Alright. I had a feeling you'd do something like this, so I prepared something in advance. My Regulus piece, Bracing Angel Ladder.
Oh, Bracing Angel Ladder coming on down to deny lock on the next turn. Okay,
that is huge.
It's a great thing Clover hit those heal triggers because for the next turn, their deck's not going to be doing too much.
Yep. Vanguard is basically shut off.
Impauldio CBing one to look at the top 5 cards of the deck after putting in the 7th Automod gauge and calling a card. A little shy on being able to proc the Vinschter, but perhaps that just means that they won't use Vinschter this turn, instead opt for the limiter removal of the Divine Skill.
I'll call Bulbamine.
Oh, Bulbamine comes on in. Good counter charge here. Definitely necessary because we're trying to look a little taxing on the CB resource here. Bulbamine came a little late to the party, but now it's raring to go. Okay, Shiono's starting to look like they've got a comeback in the works.
My front row gets 15,000 power.
25,000 power. Three big swings are promised to come on in.
And lock shut off. Those rear guards in the front row are staying till the next turn.
Mm-hmm.
Activate the skill of the energy generator. Energy Blast 7 and draw a card.
Alright, E being 9. Let's see if we can get another good draw from it.
I'll call Radial.
Oh, Araneae is back on the field. And
That's
the
a
best
big
part
booster,
is
too.
because of Bracing Angel Ladder, Araneae can boost anything. It doesn't have to matter that they can get rid of it, so he can use it as a booster without worry for Bracing Angel.
That is pretty big.
Oh,
That means you can get rid of my pesky aura.
Nebula Invoke, and Lady Fencer from the hand.
okay. Nebula Invoke coming on downs. It's safe and secure where it sits. And of course, with its effect, it could actually use its effect to CB1 and get a card if Shiona felt like it. But they don't even have to do that because of Bracing. What a powerful tech card to see in this situation.
And
No.
all systems go! Limiters removed! My divine skill activates!
Divine Skill online. It has been declared. We're going into overdrive for this turn. An extra critical and Need My Driver goes to Impauldio. Okay.
This is gonna.
That's going to result in a net advantage of 4 extra cards for 7 cards in the hand, not including any draw effects. That's not bad.
More extra drives could also lead to a potential of more critical, so this Impauldio attack is devastating.
And we haven't seen any traces of the overtrigger yet, so it could be lurking in the background.
Ooh, if an overtrigger gets hit.
Impauldio attacks the Vanguard!
Not much.
Here comes the big attack. This is coming in for a grand spanking total of 51 with an extra critical and 4 drives.
51.
Alright. Deceptively and I'll retire my Shadow Armies. Sorry, I'm gonna do a bit of math here.
Noel currently putting Artisaria to 38. That means if Artisaria can get another 15 there, it'll be a 1 to pass, but that's just the beginning here. The fact that they're not PGing this means it probably didn't even have a PG to work with in the first place.
Ooh.
Okay.
So that's gonna be.
So they're giving another 20k shield on top of that, puts Artisaria to 58 to 51. Another 5k can make it a 2 to pass, which is a start, but against all these drive checks, it's quite scary.
They're gonna have to discard a lot of their hand just to stop Impauldio at this rate.
Okay. That's fine. You pass. That's
2
correct.
to pass. Oh, what a scary gambit.
Quadruple drive, the first. Heal trigger.
Oh, damage each Kyouka. Let's see if Shiona wants to take the bet.
Healing down from, what is that, 4, 3
Yeah,
to 2?
4 to
It's
3
pretty
now.
good.
Heals are super effective in Impauldio. Lets them get more uses of their automod gauge.
Indeed.
Let's go all to the Vanguard.
And all goes to the Vanguard.
going.
Shiona's gonna make his opponent sweat. Time for the second check.
Second. Draw trigger.
Draw trigger.
Ooh,
The
he
guard
breaks
can
through.
break. An additional card goes to Impauldio. Oh, it seems Clover might have
There's
suffered
still
from a
two
lack of strong
checks
shield
left.
value.
The third. Critical
Crit.
trigger.
Oh,
Trigger as
critical!
well. Impauldio is ruthless. Senka might get redeemed today.
This
Oh,
is huge.
man.
No trigger.
3 damage.
Oh,
Alright.
and settling with an oddly anticlimactic fourth and blank, but getting 3 triggers is absolutely phenomenal here.
Call to me.
Yeah, indeed.
All right, and now Clover is going to try and check for some defensives here. With how bad this looks, for all we know, they may very well need the assistance of a heal trigger at this point. A front trigger. That is certainly a start.
Alright.
At the end of the battle, Bobble Mine to the soul and countercharge.
Ooh, and what's even more threatening is that the effect of the Lady Battler can Soul Blast 1 because it's their Blitz Order. Yep, they've kept the Blitz Order in the drop zone all this time. So that Lady Battler will actually be coming in for 45,000. 45,000 is still quite menacing here, demanding 35 shield, no, 25 shield now because of the effect of Artisaria getting an extra 10k.
Attack with Lady Battler. Its skill activates. Plus 10,000 since there's a Blitz Order in the drop. That's 45 on the Vanguard.
45 to 23.
Alright. Okay, I believe this is here.
This turns at the speed of light, Scarlight. I cannot believe how well Shioto managed to come back from this.
Agreed. I thought he was on the back foot after we saw Artisaria, but no, he managed to blitz his way all the way back up to the lead.
Alright.
This is why he's the blazing brawler. This dude just fiercely punches past his
Oh,
offense.
another heal?
Third heal trigger being resolved for Clover. Wow, just when you think it was over, they still managed to keep on the pure back of RNG.
That is insane.
Wow. However, thanks to the effect of Bracing Angel Ladder, even if Artisaria can somehow live this turn, they're still going to be subject to having nothing to lock.
I attack with Nebula Invoke. Skill activates. Soul Blast 1 and it gets 15,000 power.
No guard, but you know.
No guarding. Okay. Ooh, now total damage 3 to 5. Clover manages to barely survive thanks to hitting their third consecutive heal trigger, but Impauldio is now in a dominating lead here, being able to get a nice hefty hand full of some triggers and also having a field that is immune to the effects of Artisaria. Now the only thing left to see is if the booster will be able to activate its skill here to move into Soul for a retire, or would Shiona prefer to keep it on board?
Retire Radial and retire your aura.
All right,
Going
or
for the
can it
control
take
option.
it down? Looks like we have the answer to that particular question, eh, Scarlight?
Oh, 100%. Another, yeah, and like you said before, with Bracing Angel active, that Nebula Invoke is a 20k interceptor as well. That is massive, especially with freaking Impaulio's hand. That is going to be a very hard turn to break through.
I'll end my turn.
So,
And Radial unlocks as well.
alright. Persona Ride.
Persona Ride can make up for a little lack of power.
But can they accumulate the board? They only have one card on the field aside from the Vanguard. And one of the weaknesses of Clover's build that we're starting to see is that the only card that they have access to is Megiddo Maintenance. So even though they're going to have to use Artisaria to ramp up, it's not going to matter because there's no locks. It's simply for extra power to the front row and the critical on Artisaria.
That is
calling
true,
double
yeah.
Raquel there with plenty of soul to work with. Raquel is going to be getting a good bit of power here to at least try for a comeback. So at least Clover's not out dead in the water at the moment. If they can continue to get lucky on the drive checks, they might be able to get something to cling back in the match.
Yeah.
So, the thing about my deck is, I'm going to tell directly to my opponent here, is that, it's a bit of a reckless build here. Because
Clover
I needed to be very reckless towards you. Because you're, and like very, more towards like, patrol and the power. As that I can focus on. So.
Clover just announced they're playing a reckless build.
Skill activates. Plus 10k. Now there's going to be 33 to your Nebula Invoke.
Ooh, 33 on Nebula Invoke.
Ooh.
Shoot, from the other side of the aisle, that may actually be a bargain for Impauldio here.
That's no good.
I can feel your drop. But there's no backing down. Power increases 46 to your Vanguard.
That's no guard.
Impauldio taking a damage check to get another gauge.
Raw trigger.
Oh, it's a draw trigger!
With system code.
Oh,
System code, that makes it a
exactly.
15K.
The Vanguard.
15K, like you said, that's big. Oh, and I wonder, the only one thing we haven't seen yet is the over trigger from Clover. That may be the only thing to get the back end at this point, because
Actually, no.
Yeah.
We're not going to Soul Blast. They'll return to hand. I am going to remove these power markers so I don't forget. Alright. Alright.
Artisaria telegraphing a 5 attack turn because they were attacking both rears first. So here comes 2 Shadow Army token and 5k to the front row.
Alright. Yes. Let's do this. Power. And then,
That
since
is
those
a
2 cards were retired, I can Soul Blast, Soul Blast my stuff. Give them more power. Oh, Persona isn't active. Create 2 crit your Vanguard.
Centering the power. Oh, but 20,000 power going to both, meaning that 10k for Persona, 5k for front row bonus, so one dose each to the tokens. Very nice.
That'll be
Right.
a perfect guard.
Giono using a perfect guard here, despite it being relatively easy to guard. It seems they're trying to make sure that an OT won't be able to give up the dominating position they found themselves in. Oh,
Yeah.
Lumina Well, it's a very strong. Oh, but it's a blink on the drives there.
2 Lumina Wells on the check is not that good because they can only retire Shadow Armies, and once those armies are gone, the other one's useless.
Okay. 35 to your other rear.
That's no guard.
35 to your Vanguard.
No guard.
Oh, and a no guard here. Impauldio is trying to go for the maximum gauge. Oh, this heal
Ooh,
trigger
and a
doesn't proc for them,
heal.
unfortunately.
That is unfortunate.
Oh.
But it is another system. That is another gauge for system code. So there is
Yeah.
that.
With only 5 cards in the hand, Giono's betting on the 10k, and the extra 10, 20. It's now 25k to the front row from Impauldio. That should be able to finish the job, assuming there isn't 3 PGs in the hand.
I draw.
It all comes down to this turn now.
Yeah, let's see what Impauldio can muster up.
Impauldio skill activates. 10 gauge. I check the top 5 cards of my deck. And Araneae.
Ooh, the Blazing Brawler is seeing another very nice card here. Once again, it's a card that's able to play around the effects of lock. Now that Bracing Angel Ladder has subsided, if they're afraid of this going on another turn, they can use that to get around it, but maybe they're not.
They could just
25,000
use
to the
this
front row.
booster. And 25 to the front row. These columns are going to be massive.
Oh, and with Clover already being at 5 damage, they have absolutely no leeway. And with 3 heals already being out, it helped keep them in survival this long. But now that those heals are out, they're gonna have to once again hope for a miracle just to stay in this. And with 20 cards in deck, it's not very likely, ladies and gentlemen.
Vinschter,
Yeah.
Nebula Invoke. Let's go!
Oh, and the
Invoke. Okay, there he's going with his A-team right here. He doesn't even care about the lock. He's going for blood this turn. Let's see if it'll pan out.
Bulba mine.
And Bulba Mine it's a full field right here. He turned on the no vacancy sign.
Let's see if you can block it all. I attack with Impauldio.
All right, Impauldio goes first. This is a 46 swing with Twin Drive. What a humble number.
That is dangerous. That is a dangerous attack.
We know Luminal Well can already get Artisaria up to 38, but even with the other revealed Luminal Well, that could only be 43. Those 2 Twin Drives alone wouldn't be enough.
Yep.
Alright. Retire.
All right, but they gotta
38.
throw down Lumino anyway. This already indicates there may not be a PG in the hand to work with. So once again, Clover being able to get good like trigger checks, but not seeing a PG here can really backfire.
Yeah,
What was the exact amount?
25, 38 plus 8 is 46? Let me do the math.
46, okay.
All right, 46.
Yes, 46.
Versus 53 on Artisaria, currently a 1 to pass. Oh, 58
Two
now.
pass.
2 to passing. A prudent choice.
Pass. The
Flying hero
first.
trigger.
Let's see what we got.
Critical trigger.
Ooh.
But are they going to bet?
At this stage of the game?
I
At
mean,
this stage
maybe
of the-
not even need the critical. This could be a situation where power goes one way and critical goes the other way. It's a tactic often
True,
seen in
that's true.
Impauldio.
That is true.
Alright. I'll give the critical to Vinschter and the power to Impauldio.
Ah, very prudent choice from
okay.
Shiono's part. It seems they're going to be playing true to form in this kind of scenario. Now let's see if the second check is going to help get some payoff.
The second. No trigger.
Yosh.
Ooh.
Okay,
All
no
right.
trigger there, so Clover has a successful guard, but that critical on Vinschter, he said there's no PG in the hand. Oh no, it'll be a nightmare to guard.
Hollow
Yeah.
Mind to the skull and countercharge. Attack with Vinschter. Its skill activates. It performs its full twin drive this turn.
Uh-oh. And with all the power buffs in effect, we're looking at a 43k Vinschter being supported by 15 for 58 at critical and 1 drive. This is a Gabuelius column
Twin
right
drive.
here.
That's twin drive, my friend. That is twin drive.
You are right. Thank you for the correction. It's twin drive. It's even worse. Uh-oh. This could be where Clover goes home, but it's still not out of the race yet. We have to see how they respond.
Yep. They still have 1 heal and OT we have not seen yet, so...
And for all we know, they may have a PG for this one. For all we know, they guarded that specifically because the last 2 cards in hand are PG, which could be a survival technique here.
It could.
For it. Do your twin drive.
Okay, no
Win
guard has
call.
been declared. This could be a
It
decisive
is.
strike.
The first. No trigger. And the second. No trigger.
Okay, no
Oh, boy.
triggers, so with no extra
But
critical
that's
there,
2.
this isn't a death sentence potential. Let's see the twin damage check.
Alright. Now, Deck. I know if this is the second time I've only used you. One time was, it was very dumb. I'm trying to sweet talk you into giving me my last heal and over trigger. So please, come forth to me. Or not.
An unusual strategy to try and sweet talk the deck.
Because you're the closest
kind
thing
of-
you're the closest thing that Alvin is good to me. Oh, okay, there's no PG.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
okay,
unfortunately,
so
the
about, yeah.
inopportune PG check.
Yeah.
And that decides that Shiono's going to be making their way to the next round of Deluxe, being able to seize victory for both themselves and also for Senka, the character that they very well rep. Very well played to both fighters here. The wild card definitely throwing in a pretty interesting counter choice, but unfortunately, it proved too fragile a counter to deal with the ironclad offense that Impauldio had on offer. And with a very strong counterplay option in the form of Bracing Angel Ladder, Impauldio was prepared for any eventuality. This one may indeed be a difference in preparation overall, but still, in terms of the fight data, how do you think this turned out, Scarlight? Did you enjoy the match?
I certainly did. Very much so. Similar to previous games, this game was very much a back and forth, and by God, did it not disappoint. Though a little disappointed that we did not see Kyouka. A little disappointed at that.
But you know what? I've gotta say, right? When it comes to player expression, Clover definitely kept us on our toes there. This is one of the highlights of Deluxe. You could never enter the ring being completely 100% sure how it's going to turn out there, and they definitely embody that principle. That's gonna do it for this match. If y'all did like this Deluxe match, then definitely subscribe and turn on the handy dandy notification bell so that you don't miss out on the upcoming matches. We still got a lot more fight action in store for you. And if you're looking for the Vanguard content in the meantime, then look no further. We do all sorts of Vanguard content on my Vanguard channel here. We're talking top 10s, discussions, fight nights, custom card reactions, and anime reactions, the whole shebang, so check them out. And with that said, take care and God bless.